What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Today is day 45 on my chess journey to 2000s. So let's get on with the game. All right, let's see who we're playing for day 45. 1579. My opponent play e4. We'll play Karo Khan. d4. Let's see. Will we get Tatak over, or I think so. Yeah. So Tatak over variations. I believe it's our bring up our dark square bishop and then castle. After where we paint this knight. And then I think we are lining up our queens and our light square bishop as a batteries. Something like that. I don't remember. Okay, we'll go back. I don't know if knight go first or let's see. My opponent can't. Yeah, so queen d6, and what does he has? That move? Yeah, what does he has? Okay, so he rocked it. Okay, should we go there? If we go there, what happened? Taking this pawn. I'm also trying to sacrifice this light square bishop. He has to recaptures, and then I'll captures the dark square bishop. It's a dark square bishop instead. Okay, so he... Okay, now I don't know what to do. Bring up our knight. What could he do though? Here he could probably want to trade off or something. So let's bring up my knight. Don't know why my computer is screaming. Okay, could I go there now? Check. Take. Or could I just take it right away? I don't want to take it right away. I think I have to take though. Take, recaptures, and then I'm not sure what to do afterwards. Yeah. Take. So take, recaptures, rook. I kind of don't want that. Should I hold off on bishop trade? So if I take, he take, and then what? Yeah, I'm not gonna trade it right now. I'll just wait. check. Or check, maybe? Yeah, I have to check there. Go back. There? Something like that, I think. Computer, keep doing it. Okay, so I think we could take now. So take captures. Yeah, I think we could take now. What can my opponent do here? So take, and take. Otherwise, we'll just take here. I mean, take. Yeah, let's take. Nice. Now we have this. I can take that. Okay. Let's take. Try to go there, maybe. My computer just keep making noises. Okay, my opponent want to trade. I feel like I should trade. I mean, what could I do besides not trading? What could I do beside that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to take. I'm not gonna try to. Okay, my opponent. Just fine, we'll get out of the way. And now it's all about that endgame. We'll see if I can convert this. Push, maybe. And then push. Then bringing our king. Okay, but my opponent decided not to take over the center, so I'm gonna try to do that. Control the center. I mean, control the open files, which is part of the center. And so we'll see what he is planning to do. Yeah, okay. Our next move is double up our rook. That seems to be always a good idea to do when you have the open file. I mean, I'm up 2 in pawn, so I should be able to win this game. But let's see what my opponent's going to do. What is he trying to do? Yeah, let me try to... Okay, we have to take... Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that. Can't fall for bank green checkmate. I gotta go in the middle or something. I think we should just trade. Yeah. Take... Yeah, well, I'll take that one. Okay, if you take that, we can move up our pieces now, so we should be good. Let's push. Yeah, I don't think you can get one of them, but let's push. What is he trying to do? Yeah, so now you have to move, otherwise your rook is... So you can't protect the pawn anymore. Okay, so this is free. Can give it a check. Go in the center. Well, push. Blocking his king from entering that square. We could try to trade here. Okay, he doesn't want to trade, so do that. Push. That's fine. I'll attack. What could I do here? Push. 2 minutes. Okay, I think we can push now. One minute versus 3 minutes. Okay, he's gonna try to. What is he trying to do? So check. There. Yeah, I'll push. He could give me a check, but that's not gonna do anything. Yep. I think I could go here now. There and yeah. Can't really do anything, man. Alright. And that's another queen. I think he's gonna resign now. Should I? Wait, let's fight to a knight. He has to go back. Oh shoot, I got a minute. I don't wanna do that. Let's go over there. That's alright. That's a pawn checkmate. Nice, good game. GG. Yeah, Caro-Kann Tatako variations, I believe. I don't know if I said that correctly, but typically what my opponent does when I play that variations, they try to trade off all the piece and then just play the end game. But in this case, I was able to, like, I'm up material, so the end game favors my positions. I play as a 2200. My opponent play as a 19. Well, my opponent played pretty well. I think I just know the opponent a little bit more than my opponent. Otherwise, he played pretty well. Let's review. Okay, e4. We'll start with c6. All of this are book move. Yep. Trade. I mean, sometimes here you can go to Alien's Gambit as well, where you put your knight at g5. Then I don't know the theory. But my opponent take going into the Tatako War variation, Tatako verse variations. I'm butchering the pronunciation, but anyway, book move. That's another book move. Here's a book move. I know the opponent not pretty well, but I know enough. And here, castle, it's the next best move. My opponent castle as well. Now pin. But the best move is rook e8. My pin is good as well. You typically don't take in these variations just because you don't want to trade off pieces. Because if you go to endgame, you don't want to go to endgame with these pawn structures. And so I did not take. Trying to be a pest to my opponent with that pin. And so he bring up his bishop. Here, I mean, usually the plan for me, just, you know, doubling up, lining up the queens and the bishop for this threat of checkmate after, you know, capturing the knight. And so the reasons why I go, let's go back. The reason why I move my bishop back is so that I can put my queens in the d6 square. So my opponent go back. That must have been annoying for him. And so that makes sense. And now I'm lining up my queens and my dark square bishop, threatening this checkmate threatened to capture the knights and checkmate. And so my opponent push his pawn, which is a good move. He could also move his rook, apparently. The next best move here is rook e8. Ah, I see. Rook e8 will be nice, because if my opponent doesn't do anything as far as take away or like, you know, try to messed up my queen's and bishop plans. But I fear this bishop f4 move, and so that's why I move my queens. But I see the rook e8 as well. The rook e8 threatened to sacrifice the rook e8. My opponent, let's say my opponent plays some other move. I think you'll sacrifice the rook. My opponent will have to recapture, and then you go in with a check, and eventually it's checkmate, I think, because he has to move, and then you can capture the knight. After that, he will probably recapture with a bishop, and then checkmate in the next move. That's a good move. I'll try to utilize that for the futures. I remember that for the future games. All right, I'll play queen e6 instead, attacking this pawn. My opponent had to. I was hoping that he push or something like that, but he defended with the king, which is a great move. Because if he doesn't do that, I was just gonna sacrifice this bishop, which was the whole idea. And then after recaptures, his dark square bishop is undefended and it's up for grab. So he defended pretty well. I'm bringing my knight. Okay, I feel like that's my next best move just because I don't have anything else. My opponent now is trying to trade here. I don't want to trade, but what does agent say? Oh, okay. The agent doesn't want to trade either. He attack, which is inaccurate. Huh. Apparently just pushing my pawn would be suffice, but I don't like that just because I'm blocking my bishop diagonal. So I thought check. I mean, the worst thing he could do is attack my bucket with the light square bishop, and then I'll just trade off the bishop over there, which is what happened. And so we trade. Ah, that's a blunder right there. Because again, the same ideas as before, sacrificing this dark square bishop for my opponent dark square. His best move was a knight move or a queen trade. Queen trading, that's just a free pawn. So his best move was the knight f3. Step my opponent doesn't see that, so sacrifice my bishop. He captures, and now I have this check. Take. And here I just have to take. I don't know what else could I do. Apparently bringing my rook into the open file would be the best options, but I didn't. Okay, moving my king out of the way is the best move, because otherwise I see this check and I can't recapture just because this rook is eyeing at my king, and so I have to get out the way. So my opponent bringing his rook. I'm open for a trade just because I'm up material. My opponent is not up for it. And so lining up my rook in an open file. Not sure what my opponent is trying to do here, but it's all maneuvering our pieces. He's trying to trade right there, which is fine, but thought this is fine. I'm winning anyway. Yeah, don't want to fall for that background, like back green checkmate. So I move my piece, which is the best move. He then, I think he's trying to defend his pawn. He doesn't want to give a check yet because, you know, his pawn is undefended. So with the knight move, he's trying to defend it. But that doesn't seem right though, because you're blocking your rook from this open file. And so oh yeah, the other move would just be that. Attacking the pawn. But I'm all for an exchange. Piece. Here, I was supposed to go there. But I thought just taking it with it's fine, because if he take this pawn, I could take his other pawn, and now he can't capture this pawn anymore. I mean, he could capture that pawn, but then I couldn't attack it with his rook with my king, and he has to move. He probably likely attack my pawn from behind over there, and then I'll just take. So now I have this 2 pieces here, and then he has just a pawn. And so I thought I could just, I thought I'm fine with that. So that's why I take the pawn. And instead my opponent took this pawn, which is okay as well, because now he can't capture that pawn anymore. I can bring up my king. And whatever he do here, I could capture his pawn. Taking my pawn, just fine. I'm up for that. I'm gonna take it both of his pawn. Capture, captures. He's trying to bring in his king. I'm trying to bring in my king in the center as well. In the endgame, you always want to bring your king in the center. Here, it's a good move, but yeah, like what are you gonna do here? Because now I could take, captures, yeah. So here I was trying to trade off my piece, obviously, but he has this square for his king to infiltrate in my positions, and I don't like that. So that's what I move up my pawn to block his king from coming in. And so now he doesn't have any infiltrations for his king. And so if he try to check, I'll just trade off my rook, which he did. I tried to trade off, he doesn't want to, and now it's my turn to attack, push, check, which is fine, because now I could attack his rook. Try to do that. Okay, these are all fine. He only has one check move, not necessarily an attack, but just a premature check. Okay, and now it's, yeah, that pawn is gonna get promoted if it's not. Where was he though? Okay, he's over there. Check, check. Okay. Yeah, after here, he doesn't have anything. And with this, I'm assuming he's hoping for some stalemates or something, but that's a checkmate with the pawn. So GG, another good win. And so I think we are, I don't know how many games we have won in a row, but so far we are doing good.